Josh Wilkins of the USA, the first referee. Second referee is Manuel Rosario. Third referee is Christian Paella of the U.S., Rosario hailing from the Dominican Republic, and the timekeeper tonight is Anthony Turborg of Suriname, as these two teams line up to get ready for the anthems. And I think we can expect fans will be starting to pour into the complex here in Managua, with the host nation set to follow this one. So a lot of exciting action tonight. We will pause for the anthem.
Hey guys, welcome back in to the watch along. I'm setting a few things up for us here as the teams are getting ready to start, and then we will get into the watch party. What is going? Looking at, looks like we're going to have Canada versus Cuba here for the first game. Cuba definitely had a very productive lead up to this tournament. They had a few friendlies against Costa Rica that looked pretty good. Um, they did not come away with victories in those. Actually, you know what? I think they did actually steal one away. But otherwise, Costa Rica looking pretty dominant as usual. Um, but yeah, this should be a pretty exciting game. Curious to see where Canada stands on things. They were hindered in this last tournament 3 years ago because of COVID protocols in the country. And looking at this squad, it's predominantly from a team in Montreal called Sporting Montreal. So a lot of these guys have a lot of synergy with each other already. It's not like they're coming into a national team camp and haven't played together. So this could be really, really good for Canada. They could look a lot cleaner than they have in the past. Sound off in the chat. Let us know what you guys are thinking. Tell me about the game as you're watching. And I'm going to update this score bug down below me here so that we can keep track of the score here on the channel. So bear with me while I set that up. You're going to hear some clickety clacks and other very unprofessional. All right, guys. And then as we were doing this earlier with Luke, as he was doing a watch along on the last game between Haiti and Costa Rica, we did get a notification from YouTube that we were infringing on some copyright stuff, so we couldn't continue on. So in lieu of that, we're going to be going this route instead. We were concerned this might be an issue, and we decided, well, we're going to give it a go and see what happens. And unfortunately, we got busted. So actually, let me fix this. Canada's in the white, Cuba in the red and blue. If you guys are watching on YouTube separately, or if you found it on your local television station. All right, nearly there, guys, and we'll have this cleaned up for you. Okay, there we are. Is that hard to read, that blue on red, guys? I don't know if I like that. Trying to match the jersey kits for you guys, but we might have to just make that white for the sake of everybody's eyeballs. Luke's in the chat. What's up, Luke? Luke started streaming we got things figured out. Haiti, who had no subs, had 2 injuries to start the second half and forfeited. So tough night for Haiti. Not sure what those injuries look like for the next game. My friend Otto is an assistant coach there with the team. He was there on the bench and helping with those injuries and helping those guys off the court. Trying to give him some time to sort things out before I bug him, but going to probably message him later tonight while we're streaming, guys, to try and get an update on those fellas, and hopefully they're okay first and foremost. But I'm also, in a much less important note, curious what that means for them for the rest of this tournament. Are they able to field a team? So tough one there for them. If you guys weren't with Luke on his stream, their NFPL is also in action tonight. So I'll be keeping an eye on that with you as well. And we'll try and put a score bug up for both. But we could do some updates on, hey, here's what's going on over in Colorado. As Colorado faces Santa Fe Gloom, they play the hosts to face off here in about an hour. about 50 minutes. And that will be the division final, conference final, if you will, to see who goes on to the final and face the winner between Grand Rapids Olay and Michigan Futsal Factory based out of Ann Arbor. One of Michigan football's Futsal Factory's players is in this tournament. Robert Dameron is goalkeeper for the United States. He didn't see action today, but he is behind Diego Moretti, who's a veteran of, I believe, 38 years old. So he's learning from one of the greats, and it shows in his NFPL play for sure. I mean, he has done nothing but improve exponentially, I would say, since he's gotten involved with the national team for the U.S. Now we just got to find a way to get more people from futsal to represent the United States of America on the futsal court. That'd be sweet. Ooh. Little bit of early game jitters, it looks like, from both teams. Oh. My dog has entered the stream. And he has unplugged my headphones. I don't know if you guys can see his tail wagging down there. He's hanging out. Moretti over Robbie? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's just the years of experience. It goes so far. I agree with you 100%, Luke. It's still got to be Diego. You know, it's one thing if we're in friendlies, but I mean, this is a tournament that counts and matters. Gotta be Diego between the pipes. Both teams playing at a high pace. If you guys are watching this right now, it's causing some turnovers on both sides. Canada and Cuba both have turned over the ball several times, but a lot of high energy, and it looks like both teams trying to make a statement here right off the rip, which is exciting. Making for some entertaining futsal. And there he goes. A quick shake and he's off. We'll see if we can get him on stream later. Maybe we can get him to hop up here. Little Easter egg for later. Keep you guys watching. I think this Canadian team is moving a little quicker than Cuba expected, because there's been a few fouls now that are just late challenges. Nothing malicious. Certainly fouls, but really just coming in late, coming in last minute. Curious how this game goes for Canada. I've met a few people from the Great White North up in Canada there. Met some people from Montreal in January. One of those people being Chris Grabus, who is actually a referee here at the CONCACAF Futsal Championships. So he'll be in action as well as one of the guys running the game. So he is also in the pool to be selected for the World Cup. And we'll hear about that in June. So always found it far ahead. We knew that North America would be hosting the World Cup in 2026. And then think about the fact we didn't have a World Cup host for futsal for this year until the end of last year. And we're still doing qualifiers now. And the World Cup starts in September, late September. And then to hear that the referees only get 3 months notice that, hey, you got to book a flight to Uzbekistan. find that very interesting. Like, the cool thing about futsal is it's easy to set up, not a whole lot of overhead, a couple of arenas for probably the World Cup, probably 2 or 3 locations. FIFA comes out, does their thing, airs the game, all that good stuff. Our first goal for Cuba. Oh, that was pretty. Really nice cross to the back post. And it looks like, oh, wow, what a finish. Jumping into the air and then catches it with his back foot on the inside of his shoe and taps it in back post. Absolutely beautiful. Anybody in the chat can say it better than me and wants to send it to us phonetically, I am not going to be insulted. I know that my bilingual skills are limited. I do one. So Cuba draws first blood. We're at about 13 and a half minutes left in the first. Oh, another quick goal for Cuba. Oh, wow. Talk about a statement. A great individual effort, and then a chip over the keeper from the far side of the court on the corner of the arc. Woo-hoo-hoo. That was nice. That was really nice. Jonathan Hernandez, number 9, with the goal there. Looks like in response, Canada's slowing the pace down a little bit. They're not pushing quite as hard. Looks like they're setting up in a 3-1 formation. Canada on the ropes early. You're right, Luke. You are right. Oops. This is going to be interesting, I think, because Canada's not a bad team. So there's still a good chance that they stay in this game. I think Luke and I have said this several times today across multiple streams too, is two-goal lead in futsal means nothing. That can be erased very quickly. So all we need is a momentum swing. And these guys are right back into it. So third goal. Canada sleeping on that counterattack. And Costa Rica taking full advantage. Oh, look at the levels in the celebration. Great long ball. He crosses it. Finds that back post. Barbero Alvarez. So 3 goals for Cuba, 3 different players. I think that's been a really cool thing this tournament. The announcer mentioned at the end of the game that there were 9 different goal scorers across that game. Only one person out of that 7-3 had a brace. And we're kind of seeing the same thing here with Cuba. Everybody's getting involved. Cuba's going to be a force for sure. I think for me, Cuba is one of the teams that could possibly take that 4th spot and take that 4th spot for that World Cup bid. Trying to find the official scores to share with you guys. But a lot of CONCACAF's futsal page is not being updated live, it looks like. Little disappointed in the investment from CONCACAF in futsal. I know that they didn't fund the teams like they normally do leading into this. The teams are taking on all the expense of being here and participating, which is even more heartbreaking when you think of a team like Haiti, the country that has so much going on right now in a negative way with their people. And then to see them show up with 5 players and only play half a game, and know they took on that entire expense with no help from the federation, the regional federation. Incredible. Uh, to not see simple stuff like updating the website as we go here for a tournament of this size, a little disappointing for me as well. But I always say, we as fans of futsal, we need to be loud. And I don't mean by always, um, but most importantly, we got to be louder as a fan base and force folks at CONCACAF, folks at U.S. Soccer Federation, for example, to give us more resources. Hey, there's something there. There's a rabid fan base that's growing. We can invest in this because at the end of the day, it's a business for these guys. So we got to prove that the business is worth it. Oh, Cuba rounds the keeper, but couldn't put it on frame. Certainly had him beat. The counterattacks from Cuba have been impressive. Very impressive. Little talkie to between 2 players. Quick handshake and they're good. It's so funny. It always cracks me up when there's that warning about halfway through the first half. And the 2 guys, of course, give a handshake, little grin. It's all in the spirit of the game, all in the spirit of competition. But they know. Oh, they know. Oh, 7 foot tall. Shout out to those guys for compiling those highlights and shining a big light on futsal with some of the skill play. Absolutely love it. I don't know them. They probably don't know me. They probably don't know this channel exists, but if they happen to stumble across it, big fan. Real big fan. Ooh, right idea from Canada there. Just couldn't quite pull it off. Not quite what they need. Canada looks like it's happened a few times now, I've noticed, where they've lined up in a 3-1. And Cuba's not taking the bait. They're not high pressing them or anything. And then the Fixo is trying to launch one over the top to the pivot, as opposed to taking the easy pass to one of the wings, to the alas. It's interesting. Looks like it might be a bit of a pulled groin for the Cuban goalkeeper here. He had to get in and he got, oh no, that's a hit to an area for him to get in and get in the mix there. I think he had to. When they have the ball, they're playing with pace, but nothing feels panicked about their movements and their motion. First few minutes, a little bit of jitters, but it didn't take long for them to settle in, and it shows. A couple of quick turnovers. Canada over to Cuba, and Cuba back to Canada. Let's pull some rosters here while these guys are playing out. We got to run from Canada down the line. Oh, they get a shot, but not on frame. Hmm. So this is the first game of Group B. And after this game, we'll see the other two participants in Group B, which are going to be Nicaragua, who are the hosts of this match, or of this tournament, excuse me. And they'll be taking on Panama. And I think for me, Panama is probably my favorite to win the group. And then we'll see what happens between Cuba and Canada, Nicaragua for the rest of that. But I have a hard time believing anyone other than Panama is going to get that first spot. And then as far as next steps from the group stage, guys, if you're curious, it'll be the first place teams from each group. So 3 first place teams, 3 second place teams from each group, and then the 2 best third place teams. Oh, pardon my phone there. 2 best third place teams will also carry on. So just because you didn't get one of those top 2 spots doesn't mean you're out of the running to continue on to the quarterfinal. At which point we'll see our semifinals set up, and then we'll know our World Cup participants. Oh, one off the post for Cuba after picking the pocket of the Canadian defender as well. But yeah, guys, once we know our semifinalists, we know our World Cup participants from CONCACAF. Great little back heel from Canada. Gets eaten up in the middle. Great save from the Cuban goalkeeper. Canada playing with a little bit of flair. Seeing some back heels, seeing some behind the backs. A lot of step overs here. Oh, and the Cuban goalkeeper to this rescue again. Oh, but he can't get the deflection. Bounces around. Are we going to see a momentum swing? Oh, and it took a deflection as well. Cuban goalkeeper actually had that covered. Safwane La? Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I know I'm butchering that one. MLAH is the last name. I'd like to look up this goalkeeper for Cuba. Kevin Rada. Like the Cuban team, almost all of them play within the league in Cuba, with the exception of one player, which would be one of their alas, Diego Ramirez. That's number 13. He plays over in Spain, which is arguably one of the best leagues in the world. He's one of their oldest players, being born in 1998, which makes me feel super old. And And then similar story for Canada as I was looking at them earlier. I believe all of the players on the Canadian national team participate in leagues across Canada. Um, I believe it was across the best teams from each province. So you look at somebody like a Sporting Montreal who's missing, geez, a line and a half. And meanwhile, their buddies are playing back at home. And as far as what I've heard, I think they won their first game. So it says a lot about how deep that squad is in the Canadian League, in the Montreal League, or I should say Quebec League, not just Montreal. Canada doing a great job staying in this and fighting through it. Oh, and right on cue, there's another goal. Oh man, I should praise Canada more often. They'll score more. You guys believe in those kinds of lucks and hexes? Almost disaster as two Canadians went for the ball, but luckily, the one backpedaling to it was able to back off just in time. And Monteser, number 6. Let's see if I can take another look at this. Monteser, I think is how you say his name, from Sporting Montreal, who we were just talking about. Sorry, guys, I'm not very familiar with these teams and their players. And again, I'm not afraid to admit when I don't know something. And there's going to be a lot of that going on tonight. So we're going to have some fun and watch, but I am far from an expert on a lot of these teams. So just like that, Canada was down 3-0 about halfway through this half. And now there's 3 minutes and 40 seconds left, and they're within a goal. So when we talk about momentum swings in futsal and how quickly things change, this is it. This is that type of thing. So after a short timeout from Cuba, we're back in action. Hope everyone's doing great out there as we do this watch along, and keep an eye on CONCACAF action. If you weren't here at the beginning of the stream, the reason that this is just me on the screen and a score bug is because we do not have the copyright rights to, and unfortunately it just didn't work out. We did get a notification that we were outside of copyright, so we had to remove those so we could continue to stream. We had to remove the game from our stream. Even in a small size, it's too much if it's on there. So we were able to do it with one game and thought we were going to be okay, and then the old YouTube AI police. But I am here to join in with you guys as a companion. So think of this as like a watch along companion, like you see on Twitch for UFC uh, or NFL streams as well. Um, that's starting to become a big thing with some of the big sports, and we thought we might try and mimic it and see what you guys think. So we had a pretty big turnout for the USA game, and now we're going to see if we can keep watching this tournament and see if anybody else might be interested. Canada definitely feeling good right now. Really glad to see Canada bounce back a bit. Really would like to see them do well. Yeah, Luke, I agree. I know that this team really didn't get a fair shake in the last Gold Cup or futsal championship, whatever you want to call it. Just with everything that was going on with COVID, made it very difficult for a lot of teams. And Canada, I think, was one of the ones affected the most by that, as a lot of their restrictions on stuff like this were still pretty tight at the time of the tournament. About 2 minutes left in this one for the first half. I'm sure Canada would love one more goal going into the half and get a chance to hit that reset button. Let me know if we have any quality issues in the chat as well, guys. If for some reason the stream is choppy or frozen, just sound off in the chat. We're working through some issues with running this through a VPN so that we can watch the games and comment on them. But in doing so, it does affect the connectivity elsewhere with the setup. So we've had a little bit of quality issues today because of that. I think we cleaned a lot of it up, but there's still a little bounce here and there. So I appreciate you guys being patient with us as we still continue to figure that out and get a little better at it. This is a really cool arena. Would love to see it in person. Looks like that was a foul on Canada. Did I see that right? Luke demands perfection. That's why we work so hard. Luke's a slave driver, man. We got about 20 minutes and the NFPL is going to go live as well, guys. So we'll keep an eye on that. And I'll pull that over into a separate screen so we can watch both here off to the side and keep you guys updated. And they are hosting. But Santa Fe, I believe, let me take a look here. Might have been Colorado's only blemish on their record. Oh, no, I take that back. Colorado did lose twice. A little bit of a misstep, but Canada recovers. About 10 seconds left in the half. Oh, and Q. I think as he was losing his balance, he lifted that ball, so it went over the crossbar. And then opposite side, Canada can't get it off in time before goal scorers in this contest. Pretty impressive. All right, so we're looking at halftime, guys. Feel free to sound off in the chat. I'm prioritizing you guys over the game. It's about the futsal community here on this channel. If you guys are unfamiliar with the channel and you're new here, Futsal News is something that I created to kind of try and bring our community together and grow our presence and in some ways educate as well as we go along. But the important thing for me is that there's a place on the internet where we can all hang out and do stuff like this and learn from each other. So in addition to these watch-alongs, this is the first time we've really done this, but we do live stream interviews as well, on average about one a month. If we don't have a special guest, then Luke and I will sometimes hop on and just talk about what's going on in futsal. And then I do videos as well and do my very best to keep my opinion out of them. But with this live stream going on for as long as it will, you guys will definitely be hearing some opinions from me. I won't be able to help it. They're going to slip out. But it's all about talking about futsal, growing futsal, and taking it to that next step. And I didn't think that there was really a place for that on the internet for us in a video content at the time. All right, guys, I'm going to refill my water real quick and get set up for the second half here. And then I want to make sure I get back in time to see the kickoff for the NFPL, so we'll keep that off to the side as well. You guys get to see a little behind the scenes here. I got to feed the fish. So we'll see a little bit of that later. What'd you guys think of that first half? Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Nope. Here we go. All right. I got to say, it was nice earlier today to see uh, United States extended national team social medias cover this. We don't see a lot of conversation around futsal, even from the extended national team page. Granted, I don't think there's a lot to talk about. I don't think much is going on uh, as far as what our men and women's teams get to do for futsal based on budget and whatever else keeps them from being more active. But it was great to see, really great to see. So I appreciate it. I'm sure the rest of the community appreciates it. Just wish there was a easier way to watch the games so it'd be more accessible to the people who don't know we're out here and can fall in love in the game like we have. So uh, certainly a lot more to move forward, but we've got some good things going on too. So give credit where credit's due. Looks like opening ceremonies are beginning in Colorado. So if you guys are fans of domestic futsal, National Futsal Premier League is having their first semifinal match tonight in the Southwest Division. Decent looking crowd, it looks like in Colorado. Maybe, I don't know, maybe about 50 people on the hard side of the camera. Not sure if there's more on the soft side of the camera, but Colorado playing extremely well this season. Colorado was a team last season that just couldn't quite get results in a couple of games, and their record didn't do them justice for their efforts. And similarly, I'd say this year, last year's champions, Brusa, out of Phoenix, Arizona, same thing. They just couldn't quite get a few results, but looked really good. And they were left out. As he's been on the channel before for an interview, and he's got a great vision for futsal in Santa Fe, New Mexico. So I think that he's going to be a great asset to the futsal community. His head's in a good place. He's very community driven, and I think that that's going to benefit us. That's what futsal needs, is to work with their communities, get the word out. And it's always good for these grassroots teams, I think, to be connected to their communities because they are the pulse of those communities. So that's important. It looks like Nicaragua fans are starting to pour in. They're showing the crowd right now inside of the arena. And a lot of these seats are full. And they must have the camera, the production on the big screen because lots of big waves from some great people of Nicaragua. That stadium is really steep. Looks like the teams are coming back to the court. Some real quick jogs, warming things up here. Canada has to feel good coming out of this first half. They certainly had the momentum going into halftime. Curious to see if they're able to keep that going or if this will reset their early game jitters that they showed. Um, they seemed a little off to get the game started. I mean, certainly it's the first game of the tournament. There's some anxiety there. And these guys are doing a good job of working through it and getting into a groove. Cuba has been pretty consistent the whole game. And they just need to figure out how to shore up that. All right, second half is underway. Kick off Cuba. Oh, and Canada, a steal on the wing and a rip that hits the crossbar after the keeper is able to deflect it away for Cuba. But coming out in these first 13 seconds or so and just bringing the heat right away. Oops, let me turn off the halftime bug there, guys. Sorry about that. Cuba with their first shot of the second half. But it looks like it's off frame. It's 1-0 against Colorado. Messaging Luke. Luke was going to be here with us, but he's got to help the NFPL with their stream. He's the mastermind behind this one as well and getting this set up. A lot of this channel is credit to Luke and his expertise and his encouragement, might I add, too. like clicky clack keyboards, but I never thought I'd be live streaming with them. And now you guys know anytime I'm typing to somebody. One thing I wish about these CONCACAF games is I wish they had a foul count up on the scoreboard. And when I updated you guys earlier on that Santa Fe game, that was not a goal. For some reason, it was brought back. But since then, Colorado has scored. So it's actually Colorado 1, Santa Fe nothing. And they're still within the first minute of the game over there. There's been a few stoppages. If you guys are watching the game with me, sound off in the chat. Tell me what you guys are thinking of the game so far. Fence a little bit here. And Canada's having a hard time breaking through and getting a shot to start off this half. About 4 minutes in to the second half of this game. And we continue on. Canada draws first blood for the second half, and they tie the game. Oh, let's go. Quemi comes through. He actually splits two defenders. I don't know how he got through there, but he positions himself right at the top of the arc and puts a monstrous rocket through the net. Oh my gosh. What a statement. Quemi Loic? Oh, guys, I hate to even try. I know I'm butchering him. I'm so sorry. That makes it 3-3. Costa Rica looking to respond right off the rip, and the keeper for Canada. Oh, an unfortunate deflection for Canada. And now Cuba has their 1-goal lead again. Cuba put some pretty high pressure on Canada from the kickoff. Kept just slamming. And Martinez is back on the score sheet again for Cuba. Wow, wow, wow. Incredible. Only about 5 minutes into this half, too. A lot of time for a lot more action. And I don't think there's been a single game today that hasn't seen at least 10 goals. So if you're one of those people that stumbled across this channel and you're someone who doesn't like soccer because there's not enough action, this is your fix, guys. This is how we fix soccer for you. 10 goals a game. Are you not entertained? And there's some high pressure from Canada right now. Pardon me, guys. Allergies are hitting me strong. I don't mean to keep clearing my throat into the microphone. Corner kick for Canada here. Can they tie it back up? If you hit that scoreboard and just watched them play, the heart in this team is strong, and they've been playing really, really well. Great save from the... Gonna turn over and play. been getting a couple of error messages, but it looks like the stream is still healthy as I watch it off to the side here to make sure. If you guys see anything wrong or need me to fix anything, just let me know. I won't take it personal. I'm here to make it better for you guys if I can. So tell me how I can do that. I'm happy to try and oblige the best I can. Canada definitely for me has something that the US team didn't show today, and that's a certain kind of swagger about them. They are playing like they know they're going to win this game. It's something that Luke talked about when we were watching the USA game earlier. Is and it's not just US futsal team. It's a lot of the US teams as we come out kind of playing timid all the time, like we don't belong there. I mean, they just need to change that mindset and play a little more confidently, and I think it would solve a lot of problems in a lot of ways. But Canada is playing like they already know they're going to win this, and they're down by one right now. You couldn't tell. Oh, a bike! Oh, audacious! That's exactly what I'm talking about. Quemi with a really nice bicycle, but just too high over the crossbar. There's been lots of big sweeping plays from both teams. Big passes, long passes, sprints, covering a lot of the court. Great save from the Canadian goalkeeper. John Smits. He's doing a really good job of keeping them out. Nine. And that was an invite. So in that first World Cup, it was invitations to teams. You didn't have to qualify. United States, similarly that year, represented CONCACAF through invitation, not through any kind of playoff or tournament. So it'd be really great to see Canada pull off some magic in this tournament and get that magical first qualified World Cup slot, but more importantly, return after 35 years. In the end, they get it right back. This is interesting from this Canadian side. I didn't know what to expect. I've watched some highlights of the Quebec League. I'm not entirely sure how to follow the other leagues in Canada, to be honest with you guys. I've chatted with Chris Fernandez, who's very in the know in futsal as well as soccer up there in Canada. He's informed me of some things, but oh, a great goal from Cuba. That was just textbook futsal. Great passing play turns into a cross to the back post. Not particularly clinical, but just a quick play, and the Canadian goalkeeper Smits couldn't get back in time. Jorge Gonzalez finds himself on the score sheet for, I think, the second time. Number 4 for Cuba. It's now 5-3. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting game so far. Let's see how Canada responds to being down 2 for the first time since the beginning. This has been a great walk. They're knocking on the door. Oh, and Cuba almost catches him sleeping. Oh, boy. This has been a great first day of futsal so far. Most of the games have been really good. Beautiful turn. A 180-degree turn. He wasn't even looking at the goal. He turns 180, puts it back post. It even kisses off the inside of that back post. Oh, no, it just misses. Just tucks just inside behind the post there. That's a great play. That is a great play for Canada. They've got it back within 1. The fight on this team, like, they do not quit. I love it. Incredible. Canada keeping the pressure on. Can they tie this game? Now they got a counter. Lost the ball, got it back quickly. Cuban goalkeeper snuffs it out. And both teams just digging out. The intensity to be excuse me. I lost all my words there. The intensity of this game has been so high. Really good. Very enjoyable. Thank you for bearing with me, guys, on some of the buffering and some of the other issues we've had today. I'm not sure how much I can do, so it's going to be kind of tough. A little bit of a limbo, but we're going to try and figure it out. So we'll work on that with you guys. Some really great pressure from Canada here. Great defensive effort on the counter as well. Didn't quite go their way. They didn't give up. This Canadian side's looking good. They've got 5 minutes to find another goal, salvage a point here, or better yet, get 2 goals. A lot of time in this futsal match with 5 minutes. A lot of time. Also, some time for Cuba. I put a poll in the chat. Feel free to participate, guys. Tell me who you got. Who you cheering for in this game? Who's going to win it? It's going to be Cuba, who's up right now by a goal. Or is Canada going to turn this thing around and take it? And are you cheering for the great effort from Canada? Whoa, what a goal! Did you guys see that? Oh, who else but Quemi? He finds another one. Absolute rocket again. This man's right foot is a weapon. Quemi finds himself with a brace. Oh, and Canada with a steal and a counter, but maybe a little greedy shooting from where he did. Almost half court. I think he saw, I think he might have. Incredible. Cuba with a timeout right now, trying to rally the troops. You see some really passionate speeches from the coach right now, from the assistant coach. While these guys are in their timeout, update elsewhere, our friends in the NFPL, Santa Fe Gloom is in Colorado for the semifinals of the playoffs. And Santa Fe is up 3-1 inside of Colorado's house. A very unusual score line for this Colorado side for them to be down by 2 at home. Factory Academy will be traveling to Grand Rapids, which is a in-state rivalry that's tale as old as time when it comes to futsal in the United States. To the regular season, but that's all they needed to lock in first place for this right to host this game. So it wasn't the worst. Canadians. He's slow to get up, but he's getting up. And with 3 minutes and 42 seconds left to go in this game, you got to imagine the intensity is about to get turned up about 3 notches. This is incredible. Great, great match. Pressure staying high from Canada. Ooh, they almost got the goal, and then the next shot goes well over the top. I could see the Cuban's head coach. I could see his hair leaving his head from the stress from here. Oh boy. A lot of forehead rubbing. Stress. Oh, they were looking for a foul inside the arc there, but ref says no. Good clean 50-50, and now they're ooh, a shot from down the line, but it's easily handled by the Cuban goalkeeper. Cuba's got to figure out a way to keep the ball right now. They've had far too many turnovers in the last 5 or so minutes of game time. They just cannot get a groove going. Oh no. A foul in a dangerous place. Canada's got a free kick here. So they're just to the right of goal. And it looks like maybe just a few yards outside of the arc. If that. Doesn't result to much, but they keep the ball. There, Cuba's fighting hard. Them to miss out on the 3 points. I'm sure that they're feeling the pressure. If they walk out of this with a tie, it will not feel like they walked away with points as they're heading into that locker room. I'm sure of it. Got about 70 seconds left in this game, guys. Minute 9. Oh, okay. Almost. Canadians couldn't make much of it. And the turnovers from Cuba in the second half have been torturing them. As the game has gone on, they've looked more and more panicked. $42 to go. Incredible. Less than 30 seconds to go. Another turnover from Cuba. Surely that's a... Oh, I was going to say, surely that's a foul. Here comes the yellow. Okay, so Cuba with a yellow card. Free kick's not anywhere particularly dangerous. Just past the center circle into the Cuba side of the Cuba's half. 23 seconds on the clock, waiting for this restart. Canada's got to be feeling confident here. Oh, they almost get the go-ahead goal. Great save from the Cuban keeper. Ooh. Jonathan Hernandez with the yellow card for Cuba. I'm just seeing it come up now. 15 seconds to go. Canada's on the ball. They turn it over to Cuba. And Cuba, wayward pass, goes out of bounds. And Canada will start this thing just inside of Cuba's half. Let's see where this goes, guys. 7.8 seconds to go. It's 5-5. Canada plays the ball in. Some probing passes, looking for, a turnover to Cuba. Great defensive effort, but Canada comes right back and wins it back. And that's the time. So a hard-fought match ends 5-5. And then again, guys, another game that meant for everyone in day one. And this game actually the kickoff of the final game. So I think what we'll do is we'll keep half an eye on the end. Be watching that aren't American viewers. Maybe this isn't interesting to you, but we'll keep an eye on it. Chat with you guys. And we'll take a quick break here and come back once we get a little closer to this final match, which is going to see host Nicaragua take on. Remind me. Let me take a look here and quick reminder. Panama, excuse me, just came to me. Panama will be the next match. Looks like they're already running out to warm up. What a great game. Really awesome game between Cuba and Canada. Hard fought, high intensity, high speed. I mean, I can't ask for more than that. Cuba's probably going to be a little annoyed with themselves with some of the turnovers, particularly in the second half. And Canada with a bit of a slow start to start the game, but never looked back afterwards. What a great game all around for Canada. And Cuba had a really strong. Looking over to the NFPL match, it looks like we are at, oh my goodness. So it's 5-1 in Colorado. Seen some protests from Santa Fe on something. Don't know what. Little surprised to see. Well, no, I see how that's set up now. At first, I thought the fans were on the same side as the benches, but I think that's overflow in the. So that's gonna make it 5-2. Can't count Colorado out. They've been really strong all year. There's a reason they're first place in the very competitive Southwest. For the next game. I'll clear this out. And then let's see. So we have. If you guys are in the chat, let me know what you thought about that game. How did it look to you guys? What do you think about your team? How's the rest of the tournament look for Canada and Cuba after a very hard-fought match? Go refresh on your snacks, guys. Get a fresh drink. Get ready to dial in for Panama versus Nicaragua. Nicaragua, up and coming. They've been slowly and kind of quietly updating and improving their futsal scene. Okay, here we go. Nicaragua, Panama. Really good stuff. Uh, why do I have to think about this so hard? Hopefully, there weren't too many of you in the chat watching me think that hard how to spell Nicaragua. That took me a minute. And Panama. Those of you that have been bouncing in and out of the chat, let me know what you think about this format. Curious if you guys like it, if it's something you'd look for in the future for maybe domestic futsal or even watching uh, maybe some late games in places like Argentina or Brazil, things like this. I know that there's other people in other parts of the country that are working on bringing streaming to futsal in their domestic cups and contests, and so I think it's really growing. I would give some flowers to England right now, whose um, content creation around futsal has been really exploding over there, and couldn't happen at a better time because they've got an expiring TV deal with TNT Sport over there. So they really need to be ready to take care of themselves in case they don't get that deal renewed. Would have liked to have seen them push this kind of stuff while they had the deal, so it'd be easier to renew and TNT could see the value. But nonetheless, futsal people taking care of futsal in England in a lot of ways. So I'm interested to see how that goes for them for next year and how it changes the format of how they present their live games. We missed out on a lot of action in England on YouTube this year because of the way that those games were being broadcast. Whereas in years past, all the teams have played at a central location each weekend, so it was easy to stream them. All right, guys, so we got about 15, 16 minutes before the next game. So I'm going to quickly step away, do a quick stretch, and refresh the water here. And then I will be right back with you guys, and we'll get ready for this next match and enjoy a little more futsal tonight. Let's see what happens. Actually, I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll start feeding the fish so you guys can get a little behind the scenes of these guys getting fed back here. So hopefully do some good swimming for you. Ignore the algae on the tank. Cleanups tomorrow. That thing will look a little better before the evening games tomorrow, hopefully. But yeah, we'll take care of the animals behind us, take care of the animals running the stream. coming back and seeing a bit of a scuffle in this NFPL game. Looks like tensions are high here to end the half. Oh, and I got some reverb. Sorry, guys. Goodness gracious. So it is Santa Fe Gloom 5, Colorado Futsal Academy 2. And the Santa Fe Gloom players were hot about something. All right. So it looks like we've got about 7 minutes to go before we start to get a feed from Nicaragua. I guess at the very least I could change this color scheme for them. Let's do this. Okay. Try and go back to Twitch that I really like, especially when watching things like sports, is if you see something that you don't think you caught it quite right, or there's been times I've been watching NFPL streams and talking in the chat, and someone in chat says, "Well, I think I saw this happen." Then I go back and look again and go, "Yeah, you're absolutely right. You saw something I didn't see." So Luke's saying he doesn't think there's really much in that. Might just be passion here at the end of the game. Colorado maybe feeling a little flustered that they're getting beat at home. Certainly something they're not familiar with. Who knows? Maybe there was some naughty language in the corner over there, and that started a little beef. Who knows? One tuning in. Let me know what you think. What can we do to make this a little better for you guys? What can we do to companions? I'd call them game companions, I guess. Uh, Similar to like a what they call a fight companion for UFC, which you see a lot of streams on Twitch for. Um, I've seen it for NFL as well, where streamers will partner with the NFL for Thursday Night Football, and they'll do like a watch companion. So if you're sitting at home alone and want someone to watch a game with and to type with, then that is something that is there as a reference, and then you don't have to feel like you're watching the game alone. So really excited to see how this next game goes between Panama and Nicaragua to wrap up the day. It has been a really exciting day of futsal so far. I see some Panama cheers in the chat. Interested to see how Panama fares, Luke. Yeah, I agree. Uh, Nicaragua kind of up and coming. I would say for me, Panama probably has the edge in this one if I had to predict before the game starts. Looks like we're getting ready for walkouts. Oh, I'm blanking again. All right, guys. Participate in that poll. Let us know what you think. Who you got? What's going on here? The way I got this set up, I'm not hearing the commentators, but it looks like they're giving some statistics here leading into the game, getting us warmed up here. Before we get into it, I'm going to fix my aquarium lid really quick. Show me who you guys got in the chat. Let me know what you got going on. That ought to look a little better. Cut out some of that blue light. Yeah, Luke, people really showing up. I'm curious to see how this sounds during the game. I might mute the VOD and just kind of tune into the audio real quick and see once these guys really get going. So it looks like we've got Nicaragua in blue, and Panama is in red. So let me flip flop these. Okay. Let's do it like this. There we go. All right, we're hanging out here in watching the national anthems, waiting for this game to kick off. It's the pride of this Panama team. Incredible. I don't know why, but in YouTube Studio, it's telling me I'm having errors. But I'm trying to run the stream. It seems okay. Seems okay to me. This is going to be a good one. I'm excited. I am very excited. Look at that crowd. That is a beautiful thing. That's futsal, guys. That's our fans. I love it. Not too many empty seats in there. really want to see a packed USA venue for a USA national team game. I think it's possible. Yes, I think so too. Especially you think of some of the hotbeds of futsal in the United States. There's several of them. I'd say the Atlantic Coast. Thinking about uh, like Atlantic City, New York, all the way down into DC. Um, and then you think about the Southwest, and there's a really tight knit community in Portland as well, Portland, Oregon, that I think could really show out. And then there's so much stuff that happens for futsal in Kansas City. Yeah, Kansas. I think that's good soccer community there as well. So definitely some good stuff. Let's see what they can pull off against a very tough Panama side. This is going to be a good game, I think. Just sneaking a peek at the NFPL game, and Colorado has changed kits for the second half. I was a little surprised to see them in dark blue against a black team. Now they're wearing all white. So let's see if that changes their fortunes. Here we go. I just got a video from Otto. I'm going to mute for a second and see. I think he's showing us the crowd. Wow, it is loud in there, guys. A lot of horns. Wow, incredible. Nicaragua hasn't pulled the shot off just yet, but they've been probing around the Panama now with some control. Let's see what they can pull off. Here we go. And there's the first goal. It's Panama. All right. And just under 3 minutes. Oh, great play off the touchline. Who's at number 8? Probably Roman Milord. Guys, I'm so sorry about the names. Looks like he plays for Los Lobos in Panama. Now, how does Nicaragua respond? Nicaragua, I noticed utilizing their goalkeeper quite a bit early, using him as an outlet to reset and create a rotation. Didn't see that too much from most of the other teams. Oh my goodness. I just looked off to the side and Colorado goalkeeper punched the post, knocked the post over, and hit a Santa Fe player and himself. I don't know what the heck is going on over there in that game. The emotions are high. Jeez Louise. So we've got Panama on the ball right now. Ooh, and they just turned it over for a kick in their own half. Pretty deep in their own half. Let's see what Nicaragua can do to respond with this. Seems kind of similar to the last game. Both teams having a little bit of looks like early game jitters in these first 5 minutes. Some somewhat unnecessary turnovers for balls getting kicked out of bounds, passes getting kicked out of bounds. Maybe still trying to find some rhythm and really takes over. What do you guys think in the chat? Who's it going to be? Nicaragua finding a way to keep some pressure on here. Ooh, great kick in finds its way across the goal, but just can't find a foot. Even when they don't have the ball compared to Nicaragua, but both still playing kind of jittery. But there's a little more calm, I think, to the way that Panama is playing. They're inviting the pressure. They're not stressed out about it. It doesn't seem from Panama. Nicaragua goalkeeper takes it off the chest. It then deflects off the crossbar and out of bounds on the other side. Oh no, there's I must have missed the goalkeeper. They're saying it just went off the crossbar. Another turnover out of bounds that was unnecessary there. Corner kick for the hosts. Let's see what they do. This crowd's incredible. I've been trying to tune in here and there and catch some of it, and just some of the even the collective groans. You can tell how many people are in there, and just constant horns. Very loud atmosphere. Panama seems to kind of be finding a groove here. A lot of, but they had a series of really nice passes there to work their way down the court, and then that last pass just went a little wayward. Access to it. No idea why this is being geo blocked in the United States. I know Copa America also, which was extremely frustrating, was geo blocked, and no one's airing it on TV here. I don't know what the loss is to just airing it and allowing it in the United States. I mean, it's all the way down in Argentina, for crying out loud. Curious to see how accessible the Asian Federation Cup will be. They're going to be the next round of World Cup qualifiers with their cup, which will start the 17th, so 4 days from now. It'll overlap this tournament a little bit. And then in the meantime, I believe Poland and Croatia faced off yesterday, and then Netherlands and Finland are playing each other. Croatia won 3-2 against Poland, and Finland and the Dutch tied 1-1. So they will play again. Croatia and Poland will play on the 16th. So that's 3 days. Last two slots for UEFA teams participating in the World Cup in Uzbekistan. UEFA will be decided by then. AFC Cup wrapping up as well. So a lot of futsal action for the month of April. Certainly going to keep us busy as fans, which we always love. I'm sure I'll feel fatigued by the end of that week, though. That's going to be a lot to watch and a lot of emotion to enjoy for sure. Against Nicaragua. Yeah, a little shove there at the end. Right in front of the referee. That's going to be a hard one to get by. Looks like we're getting into a groove here for Panama. Not turning into offensive results just yet, but their movement up and down the court looks way cleaner than it did earlier. Ooh, collision between Nicaragua and the Panama goalkeeper there on a breakaway. Ooh, yeah. Got him pretty good. CONCACAF tournament because of COVID. The stands were empty in the dome in Guatemala. And I believe that was I can't remember how big that arena was. For some reason, 10,000 is in my head for seats. So that was a really big space to be empty, especially when all you're hearing is the benches cheer after goals. It was a weird feeling. And it's hard to believe that just 3 years later, it's almost like that time never happened. at least in the sports world. Of course, we feel it everywhere else, but that's a different topic for a different channel. Calm, Nicaragua inviting the pressure, hoping for that turnover. Getting a little bit of lag here, guys. I apologize. I think you guys are starting to see some interruptions. Down, reset. Didn't like what they saw. We're about halfway through the half. 1-0 Panama. All right. Nicaragua starting things off in their own half. Taking their time now. Changing the pace a little bit here of this game. It was seemed very rushed, a lot of high pressure. And here we're seeing a little more, now that we've settled in, a little more methodical, taking our time with our attacks, but still not quite seeing the offensive action on frame of goal that we want to see. What's really cool is looking at this CONCACAF stream. They've got about 3,700 people watching the stream, which I think is the biggest of the day by maybe double, maybe even a little bit more. So that's really great to see. Love to see some healthy numbers and people interested in futsal. I'm sure it's not bringing in the same thing as the the regional cups for outdoor, or even the Gold Cup. Oh, our first shot on frame in a while for Panama, but it's right into the safe hands of the keeper. But Nicaragua gives it right back away. A lot of wayward passes out of bounds for them. Ooh. Another nice little shot on frame there for Panama, but still right back at the keeper. But it was more of a rocket. Here's one terribly happy with the way things are going right now. What's interesting is when you look at the rosters for these teams, this Nicaragua side is fairly young. A lot of guys in their early 20s compared to Panama, who has a few guys that are in their 30s. So it's kind of the old school versus new school in this match. I think the oldest guy on the roster is, oh, there's another goal for Panama. Oh, that came kind of out of nothing. They're able to create a counter, couple quick passes to create an opportunity, and jump on in. Don't be shy. Finds the back post. Really nice shot. Just out of reach of the stretched goalkeeper's leg. And it's 2-0. Let's see who that was. I believe that was Claudio Goodridge. Yes, it was. They just confirmed on the stream Claudio Goodridge with the second goal for Panama. Nicaragua really needing to find their footing here, or this game's going to get away. All right. Although it didn't turn into a result for them, that looked way more confident of a play from an individual than we've seen so far. Looking at the poll, great save for Nicaragua. And now here comes the counter. Oh, look at the effort. Ooh. Now there is a sign of life for Nicaragua. With the Panama goalkeeper up to the task. Doesn't matter. Nicaragua needed that. Let's see if that gilds the guys here a little bit and gets them out of their shell. Got timeout. Okay, we got a quick timeout here, guys. Luke in the chat. Energy way down at the NFPL game. Is it quiet over there? Or did just some of the high intensity from the first half wear out the players, or what's the deal over there? Glancing in, if anyone's curious of that NFBL game, it looks like Colorado is now only down by 2. It is 6-4. But yeah, it looks like that pace has come way down. A little slower than what we were seeing earlier. Not so crash and grab. All right, guys, coming out of the timeout. Let's see what Nicaragua does here. I think they have a corner. The high intensity wore out the players. Yeah, it looks like they've kind of settled in. I don't have the sound on over there or anything. But just in the couple times I've glanced over at that stream, well, there was a little bit of action there for Santa Fe and a near miss, but yeah, it definitely doesn't feel quite the same. Crowd's still feeling some energy over there, it looks like. Seen a lot of animated people on the camera side of the court. And meanwhile, in the game we're watching here, a little bit of a mix-up inside of the arc there between Panama and Nicaragua, but ultimately Panama keeps the ball. Oh, not for long. Ooh, couple long-range chances for Nicaragua now, but they just can't quite seem to get it on frame. As the goalkeeper wasn't taking any chances. Very cool. And everybody tuning in and popping in, I appreciate you guys. Just to watch along here for today. But enjoying some futsal action. Oh, is that a new sub I heard? I missed the notification. Is something wrong with my notifications over here? I heard it. I heard it. I heard the noise. Where are you? Here in the U.S. Second time now the referees have had a conversation with the Santa Fe bench this game. I don't know what in the world is going on over there, but drama. Hey, this is going to be a high-intensity game. At the beginning, when we interviewed David of Santa Fe Gloom, the owner, Colorado was on his radar as someone that was going to in the Midwest. So, of course, intensity is going to be high. But as Luke mentioned, it looks like it's wearing out the players a little bit. They're not quite playing as intense as they did in that first half from the looks of things. Meanwhile, in this CONCACAF Championship, Panama seems really settled in and really dialed in at the moment. They're just not quite getting the offensive return that I'm sure they're hoping for. But with about 4 minutes left to go in this half, they have definitely been on the forefront. Nicaragua with a nice counter, but fizzles out. They're trying, man. They're trying. All right, here we go. Corner kick for Nicaragua. We got a Panama player down. Is it a pulled muscle? Uh-oh, my stream froze. The CONCACAF. Oh, here we go. We're coming back. Must be a connection issue. Not that we haven't had our own connection issues over here. That's a good find. That's a good lift. Shot saved by the Panama goalkeeper. And ultimately, after a tussle on the line, he gets the ball too. So that works great for him. Nice sign of life for Nicaragua there. We got another timeout. Panama with that timeout now. Looks like the drama's continuing in our NFPL game that Luke's watching too. That is a 1-goal game now. Colorado only down by 1 goal. 6.5 minutes to go or so. Nicaragua looking which of these two teams can generate a little more offense and see if they can get ahead here. Panama can't feel comfortable on only 2 goals, especially in a hostile environment. And Nicaragua just can't quite seem to figure out that final third of the court. Still working through it. All right, we're coming out of the timeout here. Let's see what happens. We got about 3 minutes left. I'm going to play the audio from the stream at the risk of maybe getting some copyright stuff here, but let's take a look.
Culminating that with a run to the
Down a bit as well. They're getting a little settled in.
Displayed in the CONCACAF Futsal Championship in Panama.
So you might have heard the commentator there if that made it through. Panama looking for their 4th World Cup berth. They're also there in 2012 and 2016. So the last 3 World Cups, Panama's been a part of it. Nicaragua, in the meantime, looking for their first World Cup bid. Can they make it through with the home crowd behind them is the big question. This is a young team. Even if they perform well in this tournament, you got to feel like that's a win for Nicaragua because that means their future is bright, I would hope, all the way across. Update from Luke. Colorado looks like they're fighting for their lives, which they are. Yeah, I don't have the audio on that game, Luke, but it looks like the crowd is really into this match. I see most of the crowd is standing. Panama looking nice and calm, moving the ball very well. Could this be? Oh, Panama with a great play. Ultimately, the shot goes off the post on a back, and they reset in their own third, ultimately getting the ball back. Crowd is bananas. Players retired. Well, yeah, the crowd didn't have to do all that running. I'm calling you out, crowd. That's some work. I remember watching my Akron Vulcans back in the day, and man, my voice was lost. My knees were sore from jumping up and down on concrete up in the balcony. I mean, it was all worth it. All right, guys, we're at halftime in the last match of the night. So we'll see what the second half brings. Neither team generating a ton of offense, but Panama definitely looks more comfortable. They just can't quite seem to get that consistency to really put this game away. But Nicaragua, they've shored up the defense a little bit. They've not done much to really convince anybody that they're going to be a threat in this game. They really need to step it up a little bit here coming out of this break. I am no coach and I don't claim to be an expert, but I would imagine if I am the Nicaragua head coach, I'm telling these guys they need to come out of half and, you know, figuratively punch these guys in the mouth over in Panama. They need to come in, hit hard, high press, make a statement, put them on their heels, and try and earn these 2 goals back and reset this game. Otherwise, if Nicaragua figures out what they're doing here on offense, they're gonna have a problem on their hands. But Panama just looks really calm. Same thing, they just can't quite get. What do you guys think in the chat? I see a few of you adding to the poll. I see it moving. We got 7 votes now. Panama just ahead in the voting. Looks like 4 votes to 3. And if you've been watching through the day, what do you think? What do you think about the action so far all day today? This is the first low-scoring game of the day, and it's the last game. So I'm impressed. Plenty of goals. Intense with Cuba. Curious to see how they would do against some contestants off the continent, off the CONCACAF range there. Yeah, real good stuff. Adjust this a little bit. Oh, now you guys see my algae scraper over there. I can't win. You're either seeing the baby's burp cloth or the algae scraper. It looks like we got a penalty kick on fouls. Or, yeah, 6 foul. And it's for Colorado, and they need 2 goals with just under 4 minutes to go. So, interesting stuff. Oh, and it's off the crossbar. Keeper tips it away. Ooh, what a rip from Colorado. Oh, wow. 1 goal game. 3:43 to go. Man, that was nice. Even the referee, it should. Their crowd's definitely going. Let's tune in on the crowd here, see what's going on. Tough to hear there. Wow, pressure really, really high for Colorado. those of you guys that I'd be very curious to follow along and keep track of some of these players after the championship is over here for really would like to see more of it. Two players down in the Colorado side. What did I miss? I think the goalkeeper might. What is going on with this Santa Fe bench? I feel like every time I look over, their bench is cleared. Like, what is there to talk about? Luke, are you in the chat? Is there any feedback on why this keeps happening? How have the referees not carded the bench? Together over there. I feel like the coach and the players are just always have something to talk about. And they need to keep their cool. They've only got a 1-goal lead against a very, very good team. Very high emotions from Santa Fe. Yeah, I am stunned. And it's been all the Colorado guys were the ones that were down. I think the keeper looked like he maybe took one to the face. Hard to tell on the edge of the camera. And then the other guy, I mean, it is. But all Santa Fe is doing right now is ramping up the Colorado crowd. They just need to shut up and play. I feel like this has been all season. Interesting. Because the team is, man, I don't know. We're still talking. Now the ref's talking to the crowd. What is happening? Goodness gracious. There's only 2 minutes and 20 seconds left this game, and we're going to be back from halftime at the CONCACAF Championships before they finish. What's the crowd doing? Are they going to the other side? Oh, okay. We got some. Either to the other side of the court. I don't know if they've been asked to leave. I don't know what's going on. but there was several children hip thrusting towards the Santa Fe fans on their way across, perhaps. But now we've got, okay, so if that's the case, the refs are so fixated on the benches. The Santa Fe Gloom goalkeeper is now on the side that they moved the Colorado fans to, talking to the fans. I don't understand. It's, I don't understand. Let's see here. Is happening in this game? I mean, this has gone on long enough. The NFPL is, for me, is stronger than the Midwest Division by, in my eyes, quite a bit. That's personal opinion. They've not faced each other in any capacity to prove or statistically justify that really bad. And I haven't watched this game close enough to know what's going on with the officials, but the fact that they can't get this game restarted is embarrassing. Killed the entire momentum of this match that was a 1-goal difference in the last 3 minutes of the game. Embarrassing that this stuff happens. Okay, so after a massive break in that NFPL game, I think a full day has passed. And we're finally going to see a penalty kick for Colorado. I really like Santa Fe's goalkeeper, if I could say that. Like he's strong, but and very competitive. But like he's cool with people, man. Like there's fist bumps with the other team. He understands. So now the Santa Fe fans are moving over to the other side. It's like a competition to see how long we can drag the game out. Meanwhile, as I predicted, the second half has begun in our last CONCACAF match. So we are back at it. Stop an offensive attempt by Panama. Let's see who comes out of this level-headed into the second half. And quite honestly, we'll check in on the NFPL game once this half's over, and I'm sure we'll catch the end of it. Ooh, bad pass by Nicaragua in their own half. Luckily, they're able to snuff out the attack. But man, was that dangerous. So it looks like the start of the second. Panama just being patient, content with this 2-goal lead. Granted, we're only a minute and a half in. Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry. Nicaragua's coach is emphatic. And he is really trying to will these guys on. And oh, wow. From downtown. Great rocket from Nicaragua, and they are on the score sheet. They open up.
Rocket. Left footer.
Wow, what a beautiful left-footed shot. Really good stuff. Ezequiel Sequeira, I believe is the name. I don't know why I keep trying. Showing some signs of life on the offensive side of the ball, which is awesome. How does Panama respond is the big question now, right? Let's see what they do. Let's see what they do. Staying patient, it seems. Ooh, the Nicaragua goalkeeper is down after a collision with a Panamanian number 9. I don't think either of them saw each other going for a 50-50 ball, and the keeper getting the worst of it, unfortunately. Taking his time, stretching it out, and coming back. Might be how he landed. Looked a little awkward. The court. Children hip thrusting again. A long ball. Keeper way out front trying to create some offense for Santa Fe. The feed's cut out over there. I'm not sure what's going on. Oh, Panama with an aggressive attack that looked convincing. Lost the feed. Okay, it wasn't just me. Oh, what awful timing. No, no, no. I wonder if the movement from the fans all being on that side jiggled something loose. Look, Luke. 37 to go. 1 goal, semifinal. Oh, Panama just put one in off of a corner kick. Oh, so simple, but so beautiful, that one. End up dropping the ball back. Oh, excuse me. He did roll it back the way the ball came. So rolls it back the way it comes. Gives himself an angle on that back post and just... Hopefully we continue to see some action. Just under 17 minutes still to go in that one. Panama's looking a lot more confident after that goal. Nicaragua starting to ease into a high press after every pass. They're just kind of ramping up the pressure a little more to try and force that mistake, and they get it. They've got to kick in on Nicaragua's side of the court. Panama with some good movement. They get themselves out of some trouble in their own half. Starting to generate some offense here. A quick reset. Can't quite find that run through the middle to get that shot they want, it looks like. Ooh, is that going to be, I was going to say, surely a foul. Foul against Panama. Those of you in the chat, who do you have moving forward in this tournament? Who do you think's gonna make it out of the group stage? Who's got your attention? I'm curious how these third place teams shake out and who moves on. And that group C is very interesting to me with the Dominican, Guatemala, USA, Trinidad. That group is, for me, the group of death. Oh, another great goal from Panama. He nutmegs the keeper. Oh, man. 3-goal cushion. And Panama looking much more confident. Oscar Hinks is your goal scorer for goal number 4 for Panama. And the goalkeeper's down again. I think I saw him grabbing his knee as he went down. I can't tell if that's the same leg from last. Curious if they keep him in the game. Looks like they are. with 15-20 to go. He'll have to lock down the doors and see if he can give his team a fighting chance to get back in this game. Patience from Panama, but starting to see some high press from Nicaragua. They are definitely going to have to press. I mean, there's 15 minutes in this game. Look, but we need more of that. We need this crowd behind you. Wake this crowd up. Get them really, their experience clearly showing. The game in the U.S. between Santa Fe and Colorado ends up ending in a tie, 8-8. I believe it goes to extra time and then penalties, but I don't know for sure the format from the NFPL. They're not exactly the best at communicating that format, but there's also a chance I missed. I did not read their previews ahead of these games, so I'm not sure if it was even laid out for us or not. So I can't really criticize them on that because I didn't do my part and read what they put out as press releases. So we'll keep an eye on that and see what's going on. A little bit of pressure from Nicaragua. Still can't quite get some consistent shots for these guys. This young squad's again, guys. I know the stream has been buffering. I have to take care of, and I'll be away in between games before I come back for the evening stream again. I'm going to do my very best to improve the quality for you guys on this so that it's not so jumpy. I know I'm not providing a ton of content for you guys this way outside just chatting with you. But unfortunately, that's all we can do based on copyright. But I've been really enjoying being here and hearing from some of you folks and seeing who's cheering for who and talking with you guys and talking with Luke on the streams in front of you guys and kind of just sharing in the experience together. So hopefully you guys are getting as much out of it as I am. I've really been enjoying myself. And this is definitely the most time we've spent on a stream on this channel as well. So find these games and you're just looking for a way to stay tuned into the action, then I'm here for you. Great movement by Panama. Nicaragua really tight defense in the middle of the court there, and they're able to choke. And now Nicaragua with a counter. Fights all the way to the end line. Looks like a Panama player is down. Looks like he might have pulled his groin. It looks like he's grabbing the inside of his quad there. They are playing with 4 men. They must have subbed him off without making him go through the gates since he's injured. Looks like that's the case. Very good. As it should be. And meanwhile, in the U.S., it looks like Gloom and Colorado will go. So whoever wins this game between Gloom and Colorado, they're going to owe their goalkeeper a case of beer after this. Oh, Nicaragua with a goal. What a great little pickpocket. Oh, that was nice. It looked like, let's see, Wesley Ruiz picks the pocket of the Panamanian player and then finds teammate Lester Cripp, center of the arc there. And it's a nice, easy tap in. Oh, yeah, they bring one back. This might still be a game after all. And then 4-2. Crowds on their feet in Nicaragua. Luke says, Jake is Nostradamus. Colorado and Santa Fe will still be going on when Panama and Nicaragua is over. It's going to be close, man. It's going to be close. Oh, goodness. Nicaragua looking way more confident after that goal. Little bit of a swagger about this young team now. I'm not keeping a close enough eye on these PKs to know what's going on, to be honest with you guys. We'll wait for Luke to chime in and let us know here at the end. Or whenever he decides to chime in, I'll take any updates. But I don't know about you guys. I don't know how you feel about PKs, but even when I don't have a dog in the fight, man, they make me so anxious. I'm not even playing. I'm sitting at home on this gaming chair, and it makes me anxious. I can't even hardly look over there. Nicaragua got caught a little stretch there, and now Panama's looking to penetrate. Oh, great little movement. Oh, doesn't quite get enough of the ball in the back post for Panama. But he did catch the keeper going the other way because of it, because even the keeper didn't expect that. A lot of spin, but he is able to get his hands on it eventually and get it pushed out of there. 1-1. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is already too much for me. Oh, great individual effort by the Nicaragua player there, but unfortunately just runs out of room. But man, holds off a 2v1 for quite. This is a beautiful thing. Nicaragua finding a little bit of swagger about them. They've been missing it up to this point, if I can be critical. But would love to see this thing get a little tighter. Long range shot from Panama. I thought they could find the keeper out of position, but he's ready. Oh, I see keeper on keeper over there now, too. Mutual respect with the keepers. Love it. Great individual effort from Panama, but oh, Nicaragua with the save. Good work, Mr. Goalie. Good stuff. This game's getting exciting now. It's starting to ramp up. Really starting to ramp up. 2-goal deficit is nothing in futsal. We've been talking about it all day. Oh, send him a bill for the paint getting chipped off the post for all that. We have to repaint those. Ooh. Wasn't malicious per se, but I don't think the refs got a choice but to call that one. Panama playing back on their pace, not letting Nicaragua dictate the game. It is 4-4 on PKs over there. Someone in the building must have told him about my prediction, and they're trying to make this game last over there in Colorado. Ooh. Great effort by the Panamanian there to snuff that out. That's a tough angle. Tough angle. Ooh, Panama stretching the keeper there, but they also were beyond the post. And Panama with a goal. What a great counterattack. What an effort as well. Losing his balance, falling backwards, still managed to keep that skipping off the ground. Nicaragua must answer. All right. I looked over just in time to see the Colorado goalkeeper take it in the. He dove, missed the ball, but the shot hit him in the head. Oh, that's unfortunate. Hey, all those saves count though. Check that guy for a concussion. Somebody make sure that guy's okay. Don't let him lay down. Oh my gosh. That looked awful. I can't believe he's standing. I mean, that snapped his neck back a bit too and everything. More talking at half court over in that NFPL game. I mean, what are we doing? Goodness. I know there was a yellow card issued, pretty rough contact. Little cleaning, little cleaning. Ah, that's what it was. He was calling for the scrub. Ha ha ha. Got Panama all the way up against their own touch line. Oh, they're taking a timeout here, see if they can make something of it. They need to. This is a great opportunity for them. It's not quite a corner. Played a little bit off that line there. You're down by 3. It's time for some magic. Wake that crowd up. They're showing a replay of the goal for Nicaragua, that last goal, and man, it was a beauty. Oh, that last Panama goal was actually a mag as well. Went between the keeper's legs as he was dropping down into a kick save. I did not notice that the first time. More stalling, more talking. I can see the crowd is slowly inching forward because of all the intensity as well. I see more and more of the crowd in the shot. Nicaragua trying to organize themselves here. Let's see what they can do. Almost a turnover. Under 5 minutes to go here, guys, in this match. Nicaragua looking to snatch some life out of this. Ooh, yikes. That's got to be a card. It is. Yellow card against Panama. Little too aggressive. About that one. Claudio. Whoa, what a shot. Oh, that's amazing from the youngster from the he assisted the last goal. And now he's got the crowd on their feet again with a beautiful set piece. Harnesses his inner Messi and just launches it into the corner. Very nice. It's a 2-goal game again. But Panama on a counter. Nicaragua just absolutely sleeping on defense. Oh, they gave up a silly one there. Panama back up by 3 instantly. I mean, we're still showing highlights of the set piece. Woo-hoo. It's worth seeing again, let me tell you. But man, no one watching the back post for Nicaragua. And it looks like Wesley Ruiz was the one that was out of position. The goal scorer just not paying attention on defense there. And Ortiz brings one back and gets that 3-goal cushion back with 4 minutes, 20 seconds to go. Man, oh man. Snuffed out. Crowd's starting to walk out now for Nicaragua. Shocking to me. There's still a lot of time in this. Your players are showing signs of life. There's no reason to leave. Unless it's last call at the concession stand. You're going to want to watch this. Let's see. Great. All right, guys, I'm just giving you a fair warning. Usually about this time of night, my little 3.5 minutes. Nicaragua needs to figure it out. That's a great idea. Why'd the Nicaragua player go down? I'm trying to see. He's young. He'll be able to get over that crotch shot. Oh, you hate to see it though. As a guy, you can feel the pain just watching those. I mean, that's brutal. Panama with a chance to counter, but it gets snuffed out pretty quickly. Nicaragua needing to play with a bit of urgency here. Surprised they're not flying their keeper, honestly. You're down 3. Not much to lose at this point, in my opinion. Get that 5th player up front. It looks like the penalty kicks reset over in that NFPL match. Made it through the whole roster, still couldn't figure out a winner. And I have a really good chance of being correct in my prediction somehow that this Panama match ends before the NFPL match had started an hour before it. Oh boy. Man, that Nicaragua goal was a thing of beauty. It's really nice. And then Panama just playing smart futsal, catching Nicaragua sleeping, and takes care of business. His own faithful have decided they've seen enough. Oh, that's a shame. That's a real shame. 3 goals is going to be very, very tough to overcome, but it is not impossible. Panama content to burn out the clock. Passing back and forth in their own half against their own touchline. They finally move the ball forward to relieve some pressure. It looks like they're going to try and kill this clock. From what? 4 goals down? Force PKs? 2 more minutes. I would have been right. That's okay. That game needed to end. I see the crowd going nuts. That's awesome. Colorado deserves it. They've had a hell of a season. Santa Fe deserved to be there too. I mean, both teams very deserving to be there. Santa Fe with a lot to play for, a lot to build on. I mean, this is their very first season in existence. So, future is bright for the Gloom. All right, we're going full screen for the last minute 40 here. They're flying the keeper. They're pulling him forward. I mean, Nicaragua's got to do it right. I mean, it's Luke, if you're still in the chat, are you going to be with me for the USA game tomorrow? I can't remember if you had something on your schedule or not. I think that'd be the 10 a.m. game your time. And Panama really locking down the defense here for these last few minutes. Now for a counter. Snuffed out, but ooh. Yeah, a little physical. Smart foul, though, I think, by Panama. I will be there. Awesome, Luke. Cool, cool, cool. I'll message you in the morning, man. We'll get it all set up. So we're inside of the final minute of this one, guys. About 45 seconds to go. Nicaragua on the ball, but oh, well, they might have a shot here. Panama's just really locking down the middle of the court there. They're playing a nice tight diamond. And there's an opportunity to press, and they take it, and they force it out of bounds, but it's still Nicaragua's ball. Really surprised they're not playing that keeper more aggressively as a 5th attacker. Panama just happy to just sit back and knock the ball out of bounds if necessary and just kind of kill this clock. Right there, roll it forward and have a look, son. You're almost out of time. 10 seconds. We're at 7 seconds. We got a foul against Panama, but I don't know how much different it's going to make at this point. So this is going to end up being the lowest scoring game of the day at 9 goals. So surely fans are entertained with this CONCACAF championship. I mean, we're averaging, I think, 11 goals a game or something like that. Had a couple, I think we had a 12 goal game that was between Guatemala and the Dominican Republic. That was the highest scoring game of the total of the day. Costa Rica scored the most goals on the day as a team at 8. They won 8-3. Not a very clean clearance for the Panamanian goalkeeper, but He's able to burn the time. That's it. Panama with the win. Nicaragua looking up at a arena that's emptying in front of them. But hey, a young squad, and they played really well against a very experienced Panamanian side. They really did. So they should not. They should feel good about where they're at right now. And there's still a lot of tournament to play. Learn from the mistakes from this game, tweak it, and keep going. I mean, you've got Nicaragua's got Cuba tomorrow, who looked really good today against Canada. Of course, that game ending in a tie, only draw of the night. So there's still a lot to play for with those missing points between those two teams. Yes, Luke, that's the last game for the night. Oh, and I see you messaged me. Sorry. Sorry, I missed your messages earlier. That's funny. So, guys, hey, thank you very much. Those of you that tuned in, those of you that are still here, appreciate you. We will be back tomorrow, and we'll be doing a watch along. Luke and I will be bantering back and forth during the USA game. So, if you want to catch that, be here at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, and we will pick this up where we left off. I don't know yet if we'll catch any of the afternoon games after that. Uh, it's going to be tough for me unless Luke wants to run one solo or two. I'll leave that up to him tomorrow. Uh, and then I will be back at the same time again tomorrow for the last two games of the night. So those two games will be this same group, same four teams we watched together tonight. And then on Monday, same thing. Looks like the way the CONCACAF schedule went, they kind of just took the blocks of teams and put them in the same time blocks. So uh, there's not going to be a lot of variety with these evening streams. It'll be the same teams over and over. But as we move on midweek, we're going to miss a couple quarterfinal games, but the semifinals and the finals, our champion and our third place team. So thank you guys very much. Oh, Luke, the heartbreak of the day is I hope the boys are okay. And I didn't hear anything back. So I'm not sure what the status of the team's going to be there for that one. But the Canada game finished in a tie, 5-5. So Cuba and Canada finished in a draw. So that was a really exciting match, and both those teams looked really, really good. So that's gonna be exciting for later. So we'll pick this up tomorrow, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we will continue this new experience of a watch along party on the channel tomorrow, Sunday. I'll see you guys then.